We search the palace for Adelaide, all invisible, but almost immediately Abershmina gets lost. Mac and Bryn continue on. Find that lots of the elves are sick. McCoo leads Bryn to Adelaide's tower. She is also sick with what she calls the elf rot. Mina hides in the gardens until she gets a message from them letting her know that she's safe, which happens after they teleport to the Six Eyes. So Mina has to go the long way home and walk herself there. There's a medicine check that reveals that Adelaide is being poisoned or having some sort of allergic reaction to something. And according to a divination or a commune, I can't remember which one it was, almost everyone, whatever is causing it is almost everywhere. Everyone has some. The elves have more than most. And it only affects the moon elves currently. They're not actively being poisoned. This is due to their own folly. And does he who watches want Abrashmina to cure them? It is uncertain. He doesn't seem to have a stake in the game. Aranthris has no idea of the cause, but he is also not sick. And then Aeolus had heard of it, but does not seem to have it himself either. But it was a thing whenever he left the palace, which was centuries ago. So this is something they've been dealing with for a long time. So it's not like a new condition. That's pretty much where we left off. We're just chilling in the Six Eyes. About ready to go to sleep, I think.
We actually went back to the Mirage and then talked to Goldie and asked him
Oh
about the elf
yeah.
rot. And he was curious and would look into it, basically. And then there was a talk about lizards on a stick being the best food for a scholar because you don't get your fingers sticky.
We hired Goldie to research it.
You did.
We're on session 80.
Yep, this one.
Craziness. Well, yeah, you guys are back at the Mirage then. And I guess it's one of those sessions that's going to start with it's getting towards like being late at night. But the impetus is yours. What do you all do?
Do we want to talk to a dragon about it?
Suppose we can. I can send a message to Nahasira. Just look. Yep. It's worth a shot. Abrashmina will send a message to Nahasira. Salutations, your glory. Dealing with the elves in Ashar. They are suffering from something known as elf rot.
It was misandry or something is how they called it.
I don't have enough words for that.
No, but okay.
That's one word compared to elf rot, which is 2 words. So.
Well.
Also, if that's the official name for it, or the older name, dragons may know it better. But
the elven name for it, yeah.
Okay.
But
find where I... Oh, yeah, it's in the sag chat, isn't it? That I sent it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But is that all you say?
That's
With your
25 words.
Okay. You receive a pretty instantaneous reply. Nahasira's voice coming through. That is interesting. It is not something I know of, but I have not spent much time with the elves.
Brushmina will assume that means that Deontay hasn't heard of it.
Is a reasonable assumption, yes.
Brushmina will relay that to the others. Maybe it is a moon elf thing only and doesn't affect sun elves, which would explain why Aluri might be immune.
So the question is, do we use it to our advantage and use it to help topple the elves? Or do we just simply let it burn itself out?
They have been alive a very long time.
Well,
Waiting
if
for
they
them to die may take longer than we have.
I agree with Makud. If this is something that they have been dealing with since Aeolus' time, it could be another century or two before the elves finally succumb to it. Also, I would be more comfortable knowing the cause. If only do not wish to, put someone else in danger because of our ignorance. There is still that thing out in the Yira mine that we need to find. Is it possible that it is connected?
Makud doesn't know any better or not, but kind of shrugs, does a sort of nodding shrug, like he's not saying no, but he has no idea if it is connected or not.
Yeah.
So
We just know that it is something that is dangerous to everyone.
your idea, your answer to the question of should we use this to our advantage is to go back in that God's forsaken mine?
No, that was not my answer. That was just a thought of something else we need to be that we could focus on. It's not something that we should let go by the wayside because we are distracted by this.
We were thinking that the mines were being run by Riga, not Riga. Is it something that Dukir wanted?
Maybe he is behind whatever is happening to them.
Maybe they were looking for a solution with Dukir. Maybe they did. We still don't really know if they knew it was Dukir or not. Or how long Dukir has been Riga. But either the real Riga or Dukir Riga decided to station a lot of men in that mine, as far as we've heard, or at least, run it. So something worth their time?
I have a question. Because I thought I cast a spell to scry on Riga and got woman in bath getting it on with a bunch of elves.
Yeah.
Then we go to the palace, and Riga is a Rakshasa. Does that mean that whenever I scryed on Riga, I actually scryed on the Rakshasa? Or has Riga been Dukir this entire time?
I will say that there may be demonic ways to block or even trick scrying.
Okay.
Plus, he was wearing a skin, so I don't know. Maybe it worked. Though.
Like her actual skin? Like, does Abrashmina think Riga, the real Riga, is dead?
When he revealed himself, stepped out of a Riga suit that was fleshy and bloody on the inside.
That's how, yeah.
Very,
how
very much
Okay.
like Men in Black.
So, real Riga is probably defo dead.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
She
Then,
had
The question is-
inside.
Yeah.
The question is, was she dead or was she gone the entire time, or like we went away and came back, and something had happened?
It's something I can find out, but not today, because I did not prepare those spells, and I am out of charges on my tarot deck.
That actually might be worth finding out, because that could inform us whether or not the mine is super useful. I mean, we know it's useful, but like, who was interested in the mine?
Do the elves know about whatever's in there?
Exactly.
Is the question. Yeah. Okay. I will make sure to do that in the morning.
Have we told Sherrod about all this elf rot
Mhm.
nonsense?
I think so.
Yeah, we
Okay.
did.
All right. Because he might decide he wants to do something himself with it.
He didn't know anything because we asked him about it so that we could help Adelaide. Adelaide appears to be doing better,
Yeah.
but we'll
Yeah,
see how
so
she.
If you remember, you were like curing her, and then like after a day, she was like starting to get worse again. The bar was filling slowly.
So whatever
She
we're
was
doing is
she was
temporary.
healed before Abrashmina saw her, and in between
Mm-hmm.
the time that she got healed and Abrashmina saw her, she was getting sick again. But Abrashmina did like a restoration, and do I feel like that?
Yeah, so that worked, but then whatever
So as
was
long as
poisoning
she-
her continued to poison her when it was cured.
Yeah, she's still in contact with whatever is causing the elf rot.
That's
So
why
you-
we had the question in session about, do we get rid of all of her stuff that she's brought with her, like the gold,
Yeah.
because it might be re-poisoning her or something. So we do know that she's getting worse again even after.
Mm-hmm.
should get rid of her gold.
She can give it to us.
Could
We're
try to
excited.
take that away.
They can launder it. They've got people, especially.
Because that could fit the. It's almost everywhere. Everyone has some. The elves have more than most.
Gold.
Yeah, that was
Mhm.
one of the things McCood said, which is
So
brought
we're
it up.
going. Water been thrown out. Gold. Life.
Time. Yeah.
I said
Life.
life/time, one or other that they've had.
Have we ruled out water? Because you did a scry thing on that, right?
Yeah, he did a clairvoyant thing where his like little eyeball was there and he couldn't see any foreign objects there, but that was like only in one spot in the oasis, so I wouldn't say it's ruled out, but
The
for what we
water
could
didn't
do.
look tainted from where
Yeah.
he was looking.
Because
Yeah.
what are the chances that we could find a cure for the elf rot and flip some of the moon elves to our side because of it? And have a
That's
coup
not a bad
within the
idea.
palace. And change from within kind of thing. Because not all moon elves are bad, right? Just the ones that are in power here seem to be bad.
Yeah, I think Sharat mentioned that there were a few that were sympathetic, but that was also at the beginning of the campaign. They might not be sympathetic.
But if we could figure out the cause of the elf rot
Yeah.
and a potential cure for it, they might be sympathetic to our cause again.
Mm-hmm. We should
Hell.
ask Adelaide why her name was on Dukia's list.
Adelaide.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what the list was about.
It just had their names. It was on a paper.
I remember
piercing
it
through the.
when
Yeah. Okay.
we wrote it, but I can't remember the context entirely, so I'm not
It's
sure we
just-
got any answers.
Yeah, it was
It was
just
just
like
stabbed into the
pinned
door.
to his wall.
Mm-hmm.
Because Makud saw Turian Segarine's name and was like,
Yes.
had a little
heard.
anime moment.
Yes, Adelaide was on it. Turian was on it. Baron Beferet and Beferet's Yelissa.
Yeah.
Avelia and Vidar, Methane, and Abelar and Angris Thedelin, who is Thal's father.
I thought there was a connection there.
The Dahlia.
Thedalier. Yeah. The Avelar guy was arrested, so he would probably be out of commission. Is Evelia and Vidar Methian, or is there are they the sympathetic couple, or they just random people?
No, yeah, I think they're the good ones. But they're kind of sort of prisoner as well.
Yeah, we never had a chance to meet with them to establish motives and stuff.
And Adelaide might also be able to tell us if they knew that Dukir was Riga.
I was thinking that too.
I think we were gonna meet with Navalia and Vidar, but then we got sidetracked by a Dylan thing, and we never got back around to it before we had to leave for the desert.
I cannot remember.
He got distracted
Maybe.
by, spreading out his contacts in other avenues.
Why don't... If we've got nothing to do right now, maybe we rest and then talk to Adelaide about Tukir things tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
Maybe she can, if she's feeling a bit better. She talked. I think me and Bryn were there, or it was during the other conversation Mac had with her or something. She talked about them trying to find a cure for this for a long time and not managing to. Maybe one of these other people on this list knows something. Maybe they try to find the cure. Maybe we can cross some stuff off. We could go back into the palace and try and rescue more sympathetic moon elves.
This time we're tying a rope to Mina.
That is a good plan.
I thought Makud had me.
I thought he was holding your hand. He thought I was holding your hand. Clearly, there were faults in the system. You let go of someone's hand.
I guess so.
And then also it gives more time for Goldie to get back to us.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he'll find something.
Not very long.
Do we have any other contacts and we could go and talk to? Maybe?
Not that could probably help us, I don't think, but could be wrong.
Talk to Vale, maybe? She was here a long time ago, and there was all that talk about demonic corruption and things, fighting new threats until she was like overwhelmed and diminished.
Other elf groups that might know things?
Mm. The only other elf from a major group that I can think of is Deante, though I suppose there is that Fey Prince, but I do not think that would be.
He's
Ooh,
he's not an elf.
he's
He's
the
a
Fey.
Fae. Yeah.
If it's
I
something
just
old, they might know.
thought if you wanted to rule out the water, why don't we talk to the Nerid guy, the guy in the pool who's all about
Mm-hmm.
water? Maybe he can go through some tunnels and it's connected to the oasis and he can go check it out and
Turns out he's
tell
just
us if
been
anything's
shitting in their
funny.
water supply for the last 10 years.
It's just dysentery. No, that is a very good idea too. Good.
Yay.
I'm since we're about to go to bed, I'm just burning through all my spell slots doing this, I guess. Um, I'm going to send a message to Tien. Is that his
To
name?
my enemies.
Who are you trying to send in?
The Naiad and
Anim, his name is.
Anim.
Yeah,
Whoa,
Anabria.
I was not close at all. Sending to what was his name again?
Anim.
Anim.
A-N-I-M.
Okay. Anim, is it possible for you to check on the oasis under the Elf Palace in Ashar? We are worried that they may be poisoned. Haha. Sorry, that haha was because it was 25 words.
Um, he responds, I don't think so. My pool isn't linked to the oasis.
Hmm. I will take it by his lack of volunteering that he's not interested in being brought to a pool that is linked to the oasis.
Yeah, I mean, he is tied to his pool. Like, he can't really leave.
He's like a dryad.
Yeah, he's a
I know.
water dryad, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. I won't waste a spell asking if, like, well, if we teleport you to the oasis, could you go check?
Yeah, like,
I
know
will relate to
this-
the others that he is not connected to the pool. Anyone else that we should send a message to? Send a message to the Winter Fae. Not sure if I trust him, but I could do it.
I mean, just ask. What's some information gonna hurt?
Yeah.
Everything.
Yep. Um.
Devonian.
I can't send a message to Mitha though, right? Because she's not a creature; she's a ghost or a spirit. Does that count?
What's the wording on sending?
To a creature with which you are familiar. I could send the message across any distance and across planes of existence, but it might fail if it has to cross a plane of existence.
Yeah, you can send a message to Myth.
Okay. To your knowledge, has Vale and her ilk ever had to deal with Nisande the Elfrat? Why would the Rakshasa be dealing with elves?
You hear the whispered voice of Mytha come back to you. I do not know the answer to your former question. It is not something I have heard of. As for the latter, the elves want power, I suppose. As would a creature of that kind.
Okay. I'm checking notes. Oh, you did give me his name just now. Okay. Message to Devonian. It's message to everyone, since no one else is saying anything. Devonian,
I mean,
Your Highness, have you heard of Nesende Elfrat? Moon elves here in Ashar are sick with it. Any
He's
help?
on another plane.
Roll you a D100, I guess. Oh, it fails. It's a 15.
You cast your spell into the void.
Nothing happens. He's dead. Oh my god, his link to this world is no. Okay.
so we don't have a lot of things to do tonight, right? Pretty much sent all of our messages. Short of going back into palace to get more sympathizers.
Not really sure that it's something we should do right now. They might think we are dead after all. It might give us a little bit of freedom.
So are we leaving for the mine tomorrow, or are we waiting for more things to kind of shake out?
Might cast a few spells in the morning, but that might not be a terrible idea.
No, it's a horrible idea, but it might be the only thing we have to do right now.
Mm-hmm. I don't see how it's a horrible idea.
Have
don't
you
think
enjoyed
she
your
looks
last two
the
stays?
Mhm.
Well, I mean, last time it was, fairly easy to deal with, but
I mean, it's true, I did kick that one guy over the edge. So far, it's 50-50.
Did we send the dwarves to go explore that region? Maybe
yeah.
it would be worth, if you have any other spell slots left, sending them a message. McCood would probably say, if we're going to go to the place where we send the dwarves, can you tell them that we're coming tomorrow? Maybe
That
we
is-
can connect.
Yes, that is a good idea. I will send a message to. We don't know who Maro would have sent, but he's got his own spellcaster, so I'll send a message to the Maro and say we are going to be on our way to Yeremin soon, in search of the object. Any news on that front? Should be there tomorrow.
He responds pretty quickly. Just says, I will check in and get back to you as of the progress, but if you would like me there tomorrow, it can be arranged.
Okay.
Because, not many of the dwarves speak English, or English common.
Well, Makut knows how to speak Dwarvish.
True.
If I pack a certain belt.
Mm-hmm. Now I will wait for. I'll let everyone else know and wait to hear from him after he checks in with this thing.
Yeah, so it takes about 10-15 minutes before you hear back from him. And he just says they've made good progress. It seems they've almost arrived at whatever is hidden beneath Era Mine. That was a good time.
Makut can translate for us, but if you would like to meet us there, we will not say no to seeing an old friend. Thank you. And yeah.
He won't respond because he's not going to waste a spell slot. But he might show, he might not.
Okay. She basically said that his presence would not be unwelcome, but not
It's
required.
not necessary, but
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
happy to see your boy.
Yeah.
Alright, well, is there anything else, you guys are doing this evening?
Don't think so.
There's a
If we had-
pretty hard lockdown, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's no chance that I could get out and get any information or anything.
I mean, you can definitely do it, but there's a large guard presence and a lot of people, so
All right.
you just have to be very sneaky.
I am a very sneaky.
Can't get much more sneaky than invisible.
Do we want that information? Do we think it'll help?
You might find something, but up to you.
I think I'll stay in for the night. I don't want them to find out we're alive.
Sounds good to me.
I know this place is all shut down and dusty, but are there some bottles they can pull out of somewhere for us to drink?
Yeah, for sure.
Finish off the mine wine.
Oh boy.
Dan says, "Do you think that's a good idea?" McCood would go and get the mine wine. I'll probably be fine. I don't know about Mina.
Hey, her constitution's a 16.
Sure.
It's not terrible.
Not terrible, just mine wine knocks out dwarves. But it's tough. But
She survived it the last couple of times she's had it. Bryn's the one that keeps falling asleep.
is Bryn up to the challenge?
I mean, always.
Okay. It is mine wine.
Bring it. Let's do this.
Oh boy. Constitution saves then for everyone, please.
I got this. Two bitches.
I have a 20.
I also have a 20.
You all firm it like absolute champions.
Let me see what Eli rolls.
Oh,
Oh,
he's passed
he-
now.
He also
Very
got
true.
the 20.
He has disadvantage because he's a pussy.
Okay, then.
Adar got a 25.
16 for Eli.
No, I was kidding about that. But
Okay.
so everyone survives the first round. The question
How
is,
much of it is left?
there's a shitload. You're all having a tiny shot each. There's, 70% of the bottle left.
Round
Keep
two?
Drinking. Round two.
Eli's a 21 on the second one. Brushmina. Does this count as something made to maintain her concentration on a spell? Or a save against. It's a 12. Roll the 3.
Bryn got a 20. Adar got a 17.
I got 23 this time.
Eli?
21.
Okay. Everyone but Mina firms the next one. Mina begins slipping off her bar stool, and I imagine 2 or 3 of you have to catch her and lay her in a booth.
She just crawls up onto the bar and lays her head down.
Round 3 is at disadvantage if anyone's continuing.
One more for good luck.
Always.
I
Would
rolled
Eli go
22 this
again?
time.
Rob, would Eli go again, or would he?
No, you go.
Natural 1 for 6. For
Eli dies. Sorry.
Eli's dead in the corner. That is a 16 for Bryn and a 10 for Madar.
Thud.
So, Bryn, you actually do hit the DC. But the others all go, and so it's just Bryn and Makud left. Madar and Eli are like curled up together on the floor. Just like kids at the end of a party.
Makud is just like
Tuckered themselves up.
enjoying the others sleeping peacefully. Sort of like leans back. Do you want me to carry them upstairs?
I can probably get Madara upstairs. The others probably need carried.
You could have one more.
Or we could have one more. See how we feel after that.
What the hell? One for the road.
But you might have to carry us all.
24.
18.
You both take it like champions.
Right. He like pulls himself up and puts the bottle back. Make sure you got to look after the bottle first, and then he's going to like single-handedly on both of them, just like over the shoulder with Mina and Eli.
Yeah. So
You good?
You take your people upstairs. Bryn, you like stumble into your room with Madar, and you kind of like stop, stunned. Looking up, you see there is a giant spider web that it like spirals across the entire top of your like entire ceiling, and like down some of the walls. You can also see what appear to be like pages of books that appear to be like Declan's books that have been like ripped out and like are hanging, not like crumpled up or anything, like pristinely held in place, like from different sections of the web, all looking like they're in order. Like page 1, page 2. You can follow the progression of each book around the room.
Davis, are you reading?
Do you say that out loud?
Yes.
You get no response. And you can't see
Right.
James.
Alright, I forgot. I'll think. Seamus, are you reading?
And you just hear like that same spidery whisper in your mouth. And it
In her mouth?
in her mouth, in her mind.
Oh my god.
I've been here the entire
So-
time.
But there is like, there is this kind of brief, pregnant pause, and then you hear Seamus's voice. No.
Why do you have the books, the pages?
Okay, yes.
Are you learning?
No.
I mean, it's okay if you are.
Then yes.
Can you actually read?
Yes.
Anything interesting in there?
Yes.
Have you ever heard of elf rot?
Have an inspiration. The answer is unfortunately no.
So, like, what's in the books? Anything I should know about?
mostly machines.
You're not gonna like learn how to build these machines and like try to overthrow me, are you? Or overthrow the world?
No.
Mm. Whatever you do, just promise that my death is quick and painless if it comes to it.
I have no plans to kill you.
What are you doing with these machines? Are you just looking at them? I mean,
You see, in the corner of the room, there's like a section, like a few of the floorboards that have been like cracked, and it like a bit of movement kind of catches your eyes. You see like these two kind of like long, spindly spider legs like kind of come up and out from the floor below, and then like this very, very large spider pulls itself through this like very small crack in the floor. It kind of seems to like expand outwards, and you know, it's at least the size of like a medium-sized dog at this point, and it just kind of like crawls up into the web and looks at you upside down, and like all million of its eyes like all blink one at a time, just kind of staring at you. I did not have any other books.
you want more books?
You have more books?
I mean, I could probably get you more books.
I would like this.
You want like storybooks, like maybe journals that
Any,
account people's travels?
any books.
Okay, I will get you some books.
Good.
I'm gonna go to sleep now
I will
because
watch
I am
over
either.
you.
I appreciate that. I really do.
You like
Good night, my friend.
lay Madar in bed, crawling beside, and it like the spider is just staring at you upside down through the
Yep.
web on the ceiling.
Yep. In bed for a couple minutes and contemplate my life choices that led me to this moment before finally drifting off to sleep.
Just don't ask where the unicorn is.
No, not Merlin.
Your spider ate him.
Yeah.
Just imagine you see, I don't know why this image is so funny, it's like, you like see it's got all these Declan's technical manuals, like, and then you just see the spider come up and it's wearing night vision goggles, even though it's a spider.
Yeah.
But it's
I
like
mean,
eight tiny little, like, lenses rather than two.
I just try to figure out, maybe he's like projecting these images into like some unknowing craftsman's mind, and like hey, he's building these things. He's basically puppeting a craftsman right now.
Scribble, 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 scribble.
I mean, I'm not saying that's not happening.
It is now.
But, yeah. It's just a very voracious learner.
I'm excited. I'm going to have him take over Makood's lessons.
I will take Mina and Eli to bed, and I will check for any freakishly large spiders that are trying to learn in this room.
You do find a very terrified one-horned goat.
Oh.
Unicorn.
I will attempt to animal handle it so it doesn't wake the other two up. That is... of all those con saves, I have plus 12 to my con. I rolled like 10s basically for all of those saves, give or take a little number. This roll is better. That is 26.
It's like, oh, thank God, a fellow mammal. And,
Oh, sorry. It was 20. It was 25. I miscounted, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
Roll initiative.
Okay.
And
and I crit that. I crit the imaginary initiative with the goat.
that's one of my favourite sentences you've said to me in a while.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
But no, it appears very happy to see you and will come and snuggle with you silently.
Yeah, I put the others down, and then I'll just scoop the goat up comfortably, like comfortingly, and then just walk out. And I'll go to my bedroom. And I was going to say use the goat as a pillow, but I'm heavier than the goat is, so possibly the other way round.
Just use it as
No,
a
it's like
teddy bear.
you're. It's like a goat and a capybara, but you're the capybara.
Oh
The
my
goat can make
god.
friend with anybody. It can also kill anybody, but we don't talk about that.
Yeah, capybara. Have you seen them teeth? They could probably take someone down if they effort.
I've seen.
Get in their way.
I've seen the bitch. I know. You don't fuck with a goat because it'll gore you to death, like the Puritan man you are. But yeah, it's a weird night for everyone involved, and you'll wake up with thumping hangovers. Some of you probably haven't slept because of large, sentient arachnids staring at you as you try and sleep. Madar takes a little bit of calming down the next morning when she sees the situation the room's in.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. He's being cute.
Inquisitive.
He wants to learn. Yeah, he wants to learn. He's making a home. He's protecting us. Probably didn't eat Merlin. Probably ate Merlin.
I think I'm going to sleep in the bar.
I can ask him if he can clean it up and maybe like make him a space in the basement. Down in the lab. Yeah, and then when you can come back up here, it'll be fine.
He just missed his mommy, so he moved in.
Yeah, he was protecting our home. It was our scent was in here.
Well, I'm going to leave you to have that conversation. I'm going to go and do literally anything else.
Okay. I'll be downstairs in a minute. I've got to talk to a spider about moving his room.
When you do finally come down after a fruitful conversation with Seamus, you find Makud cradling a goat, Mina and Eli looking very pale, Madar looking uncomfortable and continually staring at the ceiling. But
The unicorn. You found the unicorn.
He is not doing too well. He seems better now, but was very scared. I'm not sure of what. And he's like feeding it something he's found.
I don't know why he would be scared. I mean, he and Seamus were like clearly like protecting this place, so maybe something happened there. Should probably maybe like move him out of here. You know, give him a break away from this place.
Some of the ex-cultist refugee types, maybe they would like a pet.
He's very sweet. Just don't mind the biting. Can't eat him. I will make very clear that you don't eat unicorns.
I will go
Anyway.
next door and find a family if there is any left here. Or, the closest thing to a family. And bless them with a goat.
Yeah, you find some people to give a goat to.
Cool.
They are
Ambrashmina
happy?
is going to spend lots of incense, or burn a lot of incense this morning, and cast legend lore.
Oh boy.
Just gonna get right into it. And she's going to, while she's casting legend lore, think about Nisende and the Elfrot. So if there's ever been anything written down about Elfrot and Nisende, Brashmina gets, that I know Kung Fu moment and learns? Question mark?
Yeah. You do learn a few things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's quite strange because you what is mostly written down about the elf, like, the elves haven't told anyone that it exists, right? But sort of wizards and scientists among the elves have done a lot of research on it themselves. And you get that. But also the elves, being the selfish people they were, have never shared any of their research with one another either, in the hopes that they become the one to solve it. And so having 4 or 5 different people's research on the subject laid out before you makes you probably the eminent expert on the Elfrot. You find that among many things, it appears that elves are, in essence, allergic to gold. Or the moon elves, anyway. And the only reason you're able to figure this out is because people, or one of the elves went on a sort of misguided rabbit hole of thinking it was the water, and so wrote down maps and figured out and plotted on the maps who had what symptoms, and was unable to determine exactly why certain people in certain places were getting the symptoms they were. But another one realised that it was near the treasury that people were getting ill, but assumed it was the special kind of anti-scrying stone walls they have there, and so went down this whole thing about are they allergic to magic, but it's pretty clear to you that it is gold that causes the Elfrot.
Okay. And then, that is good to know. Don't think I need to do my other spell now, unless I want to do something about whatever it is in your mind, but we're going to be going there to take care of that regardless. So, guess I'll go ahead and do the commune with the cards because it's free, and basically ask, is there a physical danger we need to prepare for at the mine?
Means yes or no, is it? Or is that
Mm-hmm.
short?
Yeah. The yes or no.
No. As long as you don't do something really fucking stupid.
Yeah, as long as, yeah. Not in
Which,
danger of a
actually,
cave-in.
I'm changing my answer. Yes.
Hey, you're
That's
right.
just a kind of a general danger whenever you're dealing with mines. You don't just blow things up in it.
I thought you were going to say it's just a general danger when you're dealing with us.
Yeah, pretty much.
There have been a lot of explosions. Like
You're
an almost
welcome.
torrible amount of explosions. He's the lead moon elf. Just explosions.
You can have
Anyway.
inspiration for that reference.
Thanks. I got 2 more yes or no questions. I can't think of anything though.
You may confer.
Yeah. Do you guys have any ideas for yes or no things? Brush me, not good. Oh. Was Riga Duke here when we first met her?
No.
Okay.
Did the Moon Elves know that?
Did the Moon Elves know Riga was a Rakshasa?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes. I said. Sorry.
Oh, didn't hear it.
Neither did I.
Yes.
Yes, they knew. Interesting.
Yeah, they knew.
That
Interesting.
is interesting. Yeah.
Oh, do you have any more questions, or is that it?
That's it. Only 3.
Okay, so that just begs the question: is they help cure Igrig out? We need to figure that out.
What was
Maybe
that?
I don't know. Like trying to figure out whether or not they had anything to do with taking Riga out, because that would have been very convenient for them to get rid of an enemy, because was very powerful, very wealthy, and was about to meet with Sharat, and that alliance
Yeah.
would have been devastating for the Moon Elves, I think.
Yeah. Write that down and remind me the next time I cast commune. I want to save my charges for.
You're good. It's just something to ponder.
Yeah. Yeah. Did they have Riga taken out, or was it circumstance that led Dukir to her? Definitely so. Oh, excuse me.
Because if they had her taken out and used Dukir, then was there a connection to the Moon Elves and Dukir? We knew there was one, right?
Yeah, we already know there's one. Yeah. Especially Turian. Turian was on his list. We just don't know why.
Well,
They're on
that's the thing. It's why were they on the list? Because it seems like there was a mix of good elves,
Yeah.
and then a mix of like bad elves.
Well, we can go ask Adelaide why she was on his list.
I think we should.
Teleport to the Six Eyes?
Mm-hmm.
To ask?
You all have to wait politely as Makud is finding someone, the goat parents.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
But he'll come back. Oh, will he?
Oh, no.
He gets invited
Oh,
into a
come back.
basement.
Oh, no, but goat, come back.
It's just him and the goat having adventures now.
I'm sad.
I'd watch it.
Filler
That'd be like
episodes.
the corgi from Cowboy Bebop.
Ein.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is one of those things where, you know, when you get like the sneaky pilot of another TV show in the TV show that you're watching, that's what's happening right now. He will eventually come back, I guess, and teleport us to Adelaide.
I don't want to spend too much time because we have to go meet the dwarves, but we track down Adelaide, tell her to get rid of all of her gold.
Yeah, why don't we have it for safekeeping? I told you. My code would be like, I told you it was the gold.
So what we do to defeat Turian is just teleport him into our bank.
Yeah,
And fresh.
that's where I was thinking of taking this gold.
We just teleport the elves into the middle of Nahasira's horde and watch them all shrivel up.
I'm melting.
I'm melting. Oh, what the world? What the world? Ooh, we all give him the Cal Drogo,
The golden crown.
the
thing.
golden crown. We all give him golden crowns. I couldn't remember the guy's name that he did that to.
Viseria?
No.
No.
Viseria, yeah, Viserys, I think.
Yeah, it's based off a real thing in history.
Mm.
Not
We
that
go
long
talk
ago.
to Adelaide.
Yeah. You find her in the. I wanted to call it the butcher shop, but I never came up with a name for the new sewer base. But you find her in the Six Eyes base, and she's like in the bar section, just kind of sitting with Alluri, just kind of nibbling on some porridge. She like looks up when you all come in and gives you all like a small smile and a wave. She looks very like uncomfortable, out of place. Like she doesn't know, how she's supposed to act or what she's supposed to do. Alluri, once you kind of come over, she'll like take her leave quickly. Just give you guys some privacy.
Okay. What kind of deal did you do with the Rakshasa? Abrashmina says without ceremony.
Yeah, Makud is slightly taken aback.
With a Rakshasa?
You might have known him as a rather boorish human fellow with red hair, a beard. Went by the name of Dukir.
I don't know that person.
Probably could have disguised himself as anything, really. Was there anyone not an elf that you ever did or made deals with in exchange for gold or favors?
I was never really allowed to be part of
She
it.
was a prisoner up in the tower. There were locks on the doors and everything.
She was not always.
I mean, it's been years.
She was not always. She's a couple centuries old, isn't she?
Mm-hmm.
And Abrashmina will explain that we found your name on a list with several others in, like, a fiend's lair, yada yada yada. What connection do you have with the others? We know Turian, but Avalar and Angris and the other ones.
She just
Evelia, Vadar, Baron, Beferet, Yalessa.
shrugs and says, "We are all moon elves, but not of the same house. I don't really have anything else in common with them."
Hmm. Were you enemies of anyone in particular?
All of them, really, by the end. She kind of has like an awkward chuckle.
Yes, but did Turian and the Baron, Evelia, Vadar, Avalar, and Greece and yourself, did you share bad feelings with anyone else, or did anyone else have bad feelings for you?
Not that I know of.
Hmm.
I'm sorry I'm not more helpful.
Rakshasa had its attention turned upon you for some reason. In your last few weeks there at the palace, did you ever have any contact with a human who called herself Riga?
I've heard that name, but I don't know who it belongs to.
Mhm. I have exhausted all of my dialogue options. I am selecting I should go. And Avrashmina makes an
Never
awkward
mind.
gesture and steps back and shuffles in place, waiting for the game to take her back into gameplay.
This is all very recent history you're asking about, and yeah, she's been imprisoned for like 10 years.
Not necessarily recent. Doesn't
No,
have to be recent news.
I'm telling
You
you,
guys
it's
live
recent.
for. Yeah, I was just like, the elves live for centuries, fiends live for centuries. It doesn't have to be the last decade.
I mean,
It could be generations ago.
Riga was like 30 when we met her.
Yeah, that's the most recent thing. But like all of like the stuff with Dakir and asking about bad blood with
Yeah,
all of the other elves.
I'm not saying you're asking stupid questions or anything. I'm giving like that's the excuse as to why she has no answer for you.
Okay.
The other elves, do you know what they did or what they do? We know Torian wants to lead. What do the other ones do?
What do you mean, do? There are.
I mean, some of you said you don't make deals or you weren't allowed to. Some of you make deals, and then you also said some of you look for a cure to the elf sickness. So, were these people who look at books? Were they fighters? Mages? Why would they be on a list? So Dokir is interested. Are they all threats that Dokir saw? If he wanted to take over the palace, he had to take out all the people that might fight against him.
I am not much of a threat, but the others are
No,
very
but you are
strong.
different to the other elves, and I know you were locked away, but you thought differently to how they did. He might have seen you as one.
That's true, I suppose. I never really thought of that.
You were outside of the loop. You were a wild card. You might have been worried that you might have made trouble or something. And if you take Torian out, he's the leader. Or you have him replaced,
He's
like you
very
did to Riga.
ambitious.
So he wouldn't sit back and let anything happen. So you'd have to take him out.
Evelia and Vadar were trying to show that you don't have to own slaves. That would make them outside of the status quo. Evelar was arrested for something, so what was he arrested for? That would have been before your time, I think.
He was. Wait, I think you
He's
got mixed
yeah.
up.
No,
The
Evelar.
Baron was
Thal.
arrested.
No. It says Evelar. Thal tells us he was arrested. And he stole from the Methena.
No, that's the Baron.
See, the Baron says is the worst with War Mage guards. So I have
Oh,
a
no,
thing for
sorry.
Evelar and a
You're
thing
right.
for the Baron.
The Baron died. Baron died.
Yeah,
And the
Baron's
other dude got
Baron's
arrested.
dead.
Yeah.
Other guy got arrested for stealing from the Methena.
Yeah, he stole a family heirloom of theirs, and when that ages and ages ago, and then when that came to light, the other elves got pissed.
So the only one who hasn't been taken care of then would be Avelia, Vidar, and Turian. Because if the Baron is dead, the other guy was arrested. Edele was under house arrest. We never asked Thal what his father's up to. Angris. Says Angris, Turian, and then this Evelia and Vidar. They're still free agents, so to speak, I guess. I don't know, I might be trying to make connections out of nothing. Hello?
I heard you.
Okay.
I haven't heard
Sorry, I
Rob.
think
There's dead silence for 30 seconds after I said all that.
Sorry, I think I didn't catch the end of what you were saying. Sorry.
Basically, all of the elves have been dealt with apart from Turian, Agris, was it? And Evelia or something? Angris?
Angris. Angris. Angris.
So basically, a bunch of them have been dealt with, imprisoned, killed, or otherwise. We were just insinuating that
Yeah,
possibly
half the
Dukir's
list.
list was taking over, doing something to these people on this list.
Yeah, half the list was dealt with. Adelaide was arrested. Avalar was arrested. Baron was dead. It was just Turian, Evelia. Yeah, Turian, the Methenas, and Thal's dad were the only ones that were still about, as far as we knew.
Yeah, pretty much.
Thanks.
I'm not really sure what you want me to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, she is very, very out of the loop. She's, not being allowed to leave a room for a couple decades. So everything's a bit difficult for her right now.
Yeah.
And, recent developments, she has absolutely no clue.
Just give us all the gold she's got. It'll be good.
Yeah. I tell her she's got to give up all her gold.
Yeah, it takes a little convincing, but you saved her, so she believes that you have her best interests at heart.
Speaking of which, how much gold did the Mirage make the last couple?
It rhymes with hero.
We're lucky we don't have to pay taxes right now.
I mean, you guys have a fucking Scrooge McDuck vault, so.
How much gold does she give over?
Oh, a lot. She
Okay.
didn't give over her platinum, which a large proportion of wealth is in, but a few, like 1,000.
Kitty.
Does he have? Because she also took like jewelry, decorative items, other things. If any of that has gold on it, probably also take it away.
Yeah, there's tons of jewelry and all sorts of things that she, like a very large proportion of her possessions are made of gold, unfortunately. But the Six Eyes offer to like fence it for her and give her the money back in platinum and silver and buy replacements or that sort of thing.
Ideal. An emerald.
What was that?
Yeah, I missed that. Sorry.
I'm making a shitty joke, Tom.
Okay.
But yeah, the rest of the day is yours. Whatever you guys want to do.
Does the spool require willing creatures to teleport?
Yeah, they have to be willing.
Oh,
Why?
because otherwise it's gonna slam dunk Scrooge McDuck like Turian into that vault of gold that we have. Just run up to him and wrap us both around, and we just appear like 30 foot above the gold, and then I can just pile drive him or power bomb him into the gold.
Amazing.
So I thought I'd ask.
It's a reasonable question.
Are we going to mine now?
Let's go to the mine.
Let's go to the mine.
Alright.
Mine times.
How are you getting there?
Teleport?
Yes, we can teleport.
It's the only way, darling. I'm sorry.
I don't even want to go and have to use a high level spell slot to do it.
Alright.
Yes, I will teleport us to the mine.
I think you don't have to roll because you've been there before, right? Is that a thing?
Yes. I am
First have
familiar.
knowledge of the thing.
Yeah.
It's
So
less likely. You still have to roll. It's just less likely anything will happen.
Then roll.
Sure. I don't want to roll, but I got him.
Unless you still have an associated object from the place, which basically guarantees that you can go there.
Oh yeah,
Does-
that's what we did last time. Abrashmina has her
Say your
holy symbol.
holy symbol.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Yeah,
use
Makud
that.
needs to put her. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have that. No problem.
Yay!
You'd better.
Makud is helping. Woo!
Dan is helping. arrive at the crumbling ruin of Ermine, though you can definitely hear the crunching, clanging sounds of active mining going on beneath.
We fucked this place up before.
Oh yeah, it's fucked up.
Does it look fucked up, but there's activity going on inside it, or?
It's probably the dwarfs.
I mean, you
Does
collapse.
it sound like dwarves?
Okay.
You collapse the door, so you can only hear like very quiet.
So the door is still collapsed. They haven't like repurposed the mine yet again.
No. No one has come in from the top side.
Right.
It's a bunch of dwarves. We cast Stone Shape to get us in there.
Yeah, that will work perfectly.
Yeah.
You carve open the doorway, and you find yourself like heading back down into the god-forsaken mine that caused you so much upset and hardship in the past. And you can see like some faint light coming from the tunnels down below, as well as a new tunnel that appears to have opened up into the bottom of the mine, coming from below. It also looks like there's a bit of a camp being set up, with like some tents and like old bottles and a small kind of like smokeless brazier, over which some like giant hunks of meat are being cooked on like a slowly spinning automatic like spit that's like regulated by these gears that kind of keep it turning automatically. And you can hear like kind of dwarven voices coming from down the tunnel. Makut, did you decide to wear your belt?
Yes. As we talked about it before,
Yeah. So
the idea was that he would, attune to it sometime in the morning, or
right.
and
Gotcha.
swap the item out.
Yeah.
And I imagine he would have been reminded, because he probably would have forgotten. But Mina's usually up on these things.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Why are you
Mina,
not wearing your belt, Magood?
you
Wear
need to
the
be
belt,
wearing your
Magood.
Makood, where is your lunch? I packed it.
You are not going out looking like this.
Where is your cardigan? It's going to be chilly later.
Magood in a turtleneck. Uh,
Oh, trying to get that over his horns, the poor Bubba.
Fat guy and a little coat.
Ah.
It's hard to find things that fit Makood, okay? They don't make them Minotaur big.
Jade can have an inspiration for tomorrow.
Okay. Keep collecting those and you can cash them in for your gold tiger, prestige tiger. Yes. So I actually have 24 con right now, and I actually have another 18 hit points, putting me just a little shy of 300. But I won't bother changing things.
But yeah, you hear dwarven words being spoken, and at the moment they sound like what was that? Did you hear that? It sounded like something going on back in the main mine. Like, let's go have a look, kind of thing. Like, you can tell they've recognised that someone's here. Probably a lot more swearing and foul dwarven mouthery than I gave there, but yeah. And eventually you see these 4 stout young looking dwarves. I mean, they look young, they're still century each old. Like very kind of, they're not wearing armor or anything. They're all shirtless, and they're basically just covered in like the sort of greyish skin is covered in like a lot of red hair, and they kind of regard you all. And you see like recognition dawn on their faces, kind of split into smiles, and they kind of walk over and start like clapping you on the shoulders, or well, not shoulders, the elbows, I guess, and like saying hi to you all in Dwarvish, though Maku's the only one who understands.
Makud would be like, when he hears them coming, kind of thing. He would be like, "It is just us. We are friends. Probably drunk something together sometime."
Yeah, you definitely recognize them all. Like you've seen these guys before. You may not know them super well, but you've seen them around, and they kind of come over and big guy, good to see you again. Been some time. Come to see what we're doing. We're almost through.
It is good to hear. This has been a thorn in our side for a long time now.
Yeah, I think the boss is getting here any second too, so you've timed it well.
Oh, good. Oh, I was just thinking, Makud at this moment will probably think, "Oh, I should have bought something to celebrate with." We left the mine wine at home. Just slaps forehead. What have you got here to drink? We should drink when we're broken through.
Of course, you can't have a mining operation like this without some booze. We've got, we've got some supplies. It's like a big grin. But why don't you come help us get the last few rocks clear? Speed things up a bit, having someone of your size around.
Makud like rubs his hands together. I thought you would never ask.
Yeah.
And he'll stroll down into the tunnel, which is probably not entirely his size.
It's a big tunnel.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, that basically leads you to like this one wall, and kind of going through the tunnels, like you're going through tunnels that the prisoners made, and then all of a sudden you hit the tunnels the dwarf made, and it's like perfectly smooth walls in like a circle compared to the craggy, shitty tunnels that the others have made. You get to the end and you find they've got these like giant rune pickaxes that are glowing slightly, and you can see like there is like one kind of hole in the wall ahead, and like through that is this like sort of pulsating like sort of bluish black light that seems to be like faintly emanating from whatever is beyond. But they'll like pick up their pickaxes and kind of point you in the direction of like where they're throwing the rubble, and we'll basically start like hacking off these huge bits of rock and throwing them to you, and you can like bowl them back down the tunnel to get them out of the way.
Sure. If that's what they want me to do, he will find the fun in running big rocks.
You're not attuned to their pickaxes.
No, but I am attuned to an array of magical hammers and my own fists. But
I'm not saying you're not extremely capable of mining.
Sure,
but
he spent that time smithing and stuff. He understands being part of a dwarven team, and if that's what they set him to, then he's gonna get the most out of bowling big rocks down a tunnel as he can, and he probably gets quite into it.
Like and the dwarves like trade off. There's always like one or two of them who are bowling the rocks, and so there's a bit of competition, a bit of camaraderie with whoever's turn it is to bowl rocks with you. But eventually, like, they manage to crack through, and the room beyond is revealed. It is just basically like an ingress into the rock. Like, it's not, you know, some big grandiose room. It's just, you know, this kind of cupboard-sized hollow. Though you can kind of start to see why this, like, has taken them so long to get through, even though ostensibly it's not that far from the, you know, the edge of the mine. Is like the kind of cross section of the walls that you can see either side. Like, there is like this weird kind of metal that's like very dark, kind of slate coloured, that seems to have permeated the rock here, almost like ore, which makes it very tough to get through. Or so the dwarves tell you. And you can see, kind of embedded in the rock in the centre of this room, is this like star-shaped object, kind of almost like, I mean, it's somewhere between like a gem and a rock. Like these heavy spikes pointing out at all different angles, and it's like got these two large kind of what appears to be like lead or some other heavy metal, like handholds on either side, and they are very dusty and like, but you can see like underneath there are like these glowing blue and black runes on the handholds. And one of the dwarves kind of turns to you and says, "What do you reckon that is?"
Does Bakud have literally any idea from not seeing it in a vision or anything?
You can roll me an Arcana check,
Okay.
Can I roll one as well?
if you wish.
I do. I assume I'm there.
I assume so too.
15. 17 minus 2 for 15.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's pretty good.
20.
Makud,
Which is good for me now.
it's a very powerful magic item. Abrishmina, it's a very destructive and powerful magic item. Like the handholds and stuff look, you know, give the impression that it's not meant to be touched, or it's not a good idea to touch it at least. And like you notice, you recognize some of the runes as like kind of abjuration, like protection runes against the effects of this thing. But
And we'd have to touch it in order to identify it, right?
Well, you could pick up the handholds, but you're not meant to touch the glass kind of gem proper.
You want me to identify it?
If you can, touching the handholds. I'm not touching the thing.
I will attempt to identify it, touching the handholds and not touching the parts that I shouldn't be touching.
Very well. You touch the handholds, and you're immediately granted a vision, and you see actually a place you recognize, old Tomokep before it sunk, and you see a frantic looking wizard running through the streets, clutching a bundle of rags under one arm, and he's pursued by several guards who manage to pin him down in an alleyway and catch him, and he's screaming, "No, please, no, you don't know how dangerous it is," and he's quickly silenced. One of them grabs the bundle, but you see this glass gem-like star kind of fall out and roll across the cobbles, and one kind of sighs, reaches down and to pick it up, and as his hand like touches the glass, there's just this pulse of energy, and it rips through the city, and though none of the buildings are or like structures are damaged, all the plants, all the animals, all the people within must be 3 to 5 miles are immediately liquefied into this like slate coloured metallic sludge, just puddles on the floor in an instant. And your vision comes back.
And there is this slate like metal rock and stuff around, right?
Yeah. But it's more like it doesn't look like it was liquid at one point, you know,
Yeah.
and that it's dried. It looks more like ore, like this thing's yeah, kind of just infected the rock near it.
I will relay that information to everyone.
I will relay it to the dwarves. In
Take
dwarven.
a step back.
Yeah, we take a step back, and then I say why we step back, and then they step back.
And I'm just standing there holding this thing like, put it down.
Can we get it safely into bag of holding?
You can certainly try.
Don't like how you said that.
I almost think we try to put a box around it first.
That's a good idea.
And you make a stone box,
Mm,
and we make a metal box. I mean,
I can, yes, actually. I can shape the stone into a coffer. So yeah, I can cast stone shape again. Create us a stone coffer for the object.
Very well, yeah. You can create a perfect thing.
and then put that in the bag of holding.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, one
Yeah.
more unspeakable weapon I'm carrying around.
It
My-
goes into the bag of holding without issue, just to reassure you all.
Whose bag of holding?
Whomever's.
Because all three of us have one.
Just put it in my bag of holding. I
Okay.
have the
And you have
one
your
gem in
anvil
there.
and stuff in there.
I do have the anvil in there.
Are you worried about it being in proximity to this thing? Because I don't mind putting it in mine.
Yeah, let's put it in yours because we don't want it to corrupt my anvil.
Okay.
That'd be real bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Shay would be happy if I gave anyone else the anvil.
So you gave it to her after what she did?
Oh, my heart.
Very well. But yeah, Damaro shows up a little while later, and after you explain the situation, he looks very pale and uncomfortable with what's happened, but glad, you guys have it rather than someone else.
As am I.
So what the fuck did Dukir want with this?
I mean, it's something that would wipe out all life in Ashar, and then he could pick up the pieces and rule what's left. Whatever he wanted with it, it is a moot point because he is dead and cannot fulfill those plans.
We thought he was dead before.
He is definitely dead this time because I did my fuck your soul demon spell when he died.
Is that actually the name of the spell?
Yeah, and it's the DC is higher if you say it like Dave Chappelle and his fuck your couch skit. Oh, like, fuck your soul, demon! Sorry. I'm feeling a little silly today. Fuck your soul!
Alright. But, yeah.
Abrishmina said perish, and the motherfucker died.
Oh boy. Well, I think. Whatever you guys want to do now, you're able to. I imagine there's some drinking and revelry with the dwarves.
Sure.
Kind of celebrate them doing a job well done.
Yeah, we need to figure out what we're doing next.
I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
You have several options, but
We're gonna rub a bunch of gold on some moon elves.
just like show up with. It's all come together. You show up with one of Seamus's designs, which is a Gatling gun that shoots gold coins.
We make a giant Trojan horse out of gold. We roll it up to the gates. Ooh, I know. It's their favorite thing ever. We make them all golden bathtubs.
I was thinking if I just like whirled the like the ball and string or whatever like as quickly as I could, maybe I could make a portal into our gold bank and then just like pour it down into the palace and just fill the palace with gold.
Mhm.
The spool.
I mean, gold-plated weapons is pretty cool.
Sarah, we're going to need some of that gold
Yeah, that's
for reasons.
we just get the right to come like a dog, just their gold skin.
Well,
Caught about 50% of that.
yeah, you were cutting out a fair bit.
Oh, I was saying we just get the Kitanorai to come like roll over the palace like
Oh, yeah.
like a dog.
I mean, she's gold color. I don't think she's made of gold. Maybe she's made of gold. That's kind of cool.
That would be
Anyway.
fun. Like she just comes through like Godzilla, and they're all like, ah!
Yeah.
"Hoifs,
Hoifs.
hoifs."
Well, I think we'll go ahead and end there for the night, so that you guys can figure out what you're doing next week.